Dude, I love your thumbnail.
No, it's garbage.
No,
It's
it's
like the
not.
Sakamoto days, Wolverine and Dun Dun Dun
No,
thumbnail.
no, no, that's
I
bad because at least this has actual like continuity and like it like makes sense within each other. But
Sakamoto and Dun Dun
like,
Dun and Wolverine, what did they have
yeah,
in common?
exactly. At least like yours is just like, oh, it's comics. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mine was just whatever the fuck that was. Like truly, it truly was like the dumbest thing I ever made.
No, it was honestly to me, it was absolutely beautiful.
Are you watching the stream on your phone?
No, I'm gonna watch it on my iPad.
Yeah, could you put look see how it looks with everything now that I'm in a
Uh,
different location?
now that you're in, where are you again?
I'm in insert location I am at. I'll tell you
Epstein
after.
Epstein's Island. Oh,
Oh,
are we
okay,
live right
sure.
now? Oh
Yeah,
shit.
we're live.
Oh, that's fine. I could see you on the stream.
Yeah, I can't see you yet because I have to switch it around.
Okay.
Um, but I wanted to like just be like, oh, a new location. Where's JJ? He's right there. There he is. That cute, stupid motherfucker.
Hey, that's what Steph calls me.
That needs to be talked about. That doesn't sound good. So JJ, it's been a while. How you doing? You were on vacation. How was that?
I was on vacation. And on vacation, I was like, surely nothing crazy is gonna happen to the world while I'm on vacation.
Oh, I mean, it
And I
rarely.
mean,
It is almost always
you know,
exclusively good,
there happened to be an assassination attempt on the president. Biden
dude.
fucking dropped out. So we don't talk politics on this at all. But I was just like chill out vacation. I'm like, normally nothing of significance happens that could tear a family apart. On vacation politically, nothing's gonna happen there. Trump almost got assassination. There were some conversations during that because there's a divide. There's like a right and left in the
Hmm.
family group. So some people making jokes about the assassination, and that side didn't like those jokes, and it was just
Were they big fans of
yeah,
Tenacious D's joke? Were they big
yes,
fans? Are they
yes,
happy that they're gone
yeah.
now? Now that Tenacious D left?
Yeah. Um, and then shortly, I think it was after vacation. Yeah, it was after Biden had dropped out, and that family group chat was going crazy. So I just muted it and moved on. I was like, I don't need this right now.
No, I get that. I get that. Like as soon as it was like when I heard about it, I was at my bachelor party and everybody fucking just started talking about it, and I was just like, let's stop. And everyone was starting just about their opinion, and it's like let's not talk about that right now.
Let's stop talking.
But yeah,
But other than that, I mean, nothing significant.
wow. Go tell your girl that right now.
Oh,
Yeah, that
except
vacation was nothing.
no, I mean, it's a family vacation that we take every year. Me and my mom's
Was
side of the
I
family.
was gonna say, was it just like
Um,
was it just you as was your girl or was it everybody?
no, it was pretty much most people on my mom's side of the family,
Mm-hmm.
with a couple exceptions because we have two ladies that are pregnant, so they didn't want to come because they're expecting soon.
Fair,
So
fair. I
um,
that makes sense.
yeah, so it wasn't everybody, but it was most. It's just kind of crazy. We're having a lot of babies this year on
Yeah,
my
I
mom's
know.
side of the family. It's nuts. It's like, and people are getting married like yourself, left and right, and it's like I'm going to go to my, well, I guess uh, my sister's brother's bachelor party, which I thought at first I wasn't even invited to, but then I was, and I was like, oh shit, word.
That's good.
So that's cool. Yeah, I mean it's so crazy how life moves fast. Like, just for example, today on the group chat, I was the only one texting in the group chat. I was like, "What the fuck, guys? I'm the only one texting in the group chat." And then Marquise sends this like loving text. Is like, "Sorry, holding my partner in an embrace, whom I love so much. I'm like, what happened to the toxicity from like the college age? And then he just typed in life, and that hit me while I was at work. I was like,
Dude, I
oh
I
fuck, I
know
can't keep
exactly.
acting like a college loser anymore. I have to be an adult.
No, I know exactly what you mean because, like, dude, like, I've I've moved into my new home
With the span
now.
of a year, you've moved into your new home. You're engaged, about to get married in well, we won't give specifics, but within the year, like your this year is going like a buck
Got
20 for
got
you.
promoted.
Got promoted, yeah.
I no
Like
longer
there's
have to answer tech calls. I am just onboarding people. It's amazing. It is so
beautiful.
easy. I'm able to work from home if I want to.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, dude, today, because I was working from home, I mowed the lawn. I
Mhm.
I made dinner for me and my fiance. We did breakfast for dinner. It was really nice.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
just
Pancakes for dinner
relaxed.
is the fucking best.
We had French toast sticks. We had French toast
Ooh,
sticks.
very nice.
Super chill, easy dinner.
You know
Um,
what we do? We do a Trader Joe's run with a bunch of frozen stuff, and then we get a thing of chicken to cook every week. So
oh,
that way we're
nice.
not cooking every week, and like,
Yeah,
because my girl, she likes to right after work, she likes to work out right after.
fair.
So then like uh dinner doesn't start till like
You
seven
working
or
out?
eight. Yeah, trying to. I'm not as good as her at it, but I am
Hey, at
trying.
least you're trying. That's what matters.
Yeah,
Trying is what
yeah,
matters. Me, I
yeah.
my
Because you could.
fiance works out, and then I come
Yeah.
home and I'm just like, all right, time to watch TV or just wait for her to get back.
When I say workout, I mean like on the weekends I do like 30 minutes on a treadmill. That's
That's a
like
lot. That's
where
a lot.
she.
That's
Well,
actually a
no, no,
lot.
no. My girlfriend does like an hour, hour and a half, almost every day working out on that treadmill, and
Nah,
she's just
don't
like
shoot yourself down, bro.
pussy.
You're starting. You're starting. Baby
No, she's
steps,
not.
bro.
She's not calling me a pussy at all. I'm just not being
Baby
hyperbolic.
steps, bro. It's okay if you're
Yeah,
working out half an hour. That's better than 0 minutes,
hmm
dude. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
But you know what I have been doing, which is kind of off topic for what we're going to be talking about. But I've been a little bad boy, and I've been spending money.
Oh, you dumbass. We are trying
I
so hard not to over here. Trying so
Yeah,
hard.
I I get that. But I've been going through the Criterion Collection Blu-rays because they originally had a Barnes and Noble sale,
Yeah.
and I kind of spewed out a little bit, and then I started getting addicted. But now I'm holding off on Criterion stuff, but I've been getting into samurai movies.
Of course you are, dude. Oh my
And
god.
I gotta say, like this shit, like
Hold it the other side. Hold it the other side where you got all that empty space.
oh right, I got a relative. So Seven Samurai Kurosawa. I've been trying to get into Kurosawa. Then we got Three Outlaw Samurai, and then the Samurai trilogy, which is really good. I've only watched. Hold on, how many of these have I watched? Um, I've watched these. No, sorry, I haven't watched Seven Samurai yet because it's like nearly 4 hours or four. Sorry, I've watched these four: Three Outlaw, 41 Ran, uh, Rashidan, and Seven Samurai. Um, and then I still got to watch Throne of Blood. Each of these run about $20 each, so yikesy.
Jesus.
But
No, yeah, that is a big yikes.
yeah, but like, see, with the Criterion Collection, they have like a streaming service, which is like $10 a month or 100 a year, and
Hmm.
I get into moods of artsy fartsy. Did the stream just go black?
Nope, don't worry about it. Keep talking.
Oh, okay. Um, like artsy fartsy stuff. I'm in certain moods for it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, it's not like every month I'm gonna be wanting to do a artsy fartsy type of movie thing. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just specifically into samurai films right now. I don't think it's necessary to pay $100
JJ, you're
for a
gonna be
year
proud
just
of
to watch samurai stuff.
yeah,
But yeah,
you're gonna be proud of me.
ooh,
Me and my fiance, we went to there's a brewery in her hometown.
nice
And they had a book
IPA.
fair. No, I
Oh,
would never drink an IPA. It's disgusting. I'd rather
no,
die.
it's great, but whatever.
I'd
You're
literally
pussy.
rather kill myself.
Oh, Mike's is a little. Fucking pussy. You're such a fucking pussy.
I
Pussy.
drink
Pussy.
beer, dude. Relax. I drink tons of beer.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
my
sure you do.
ciders.
No, I
We
love
went
a
to
summer shandy. A summer shandy is my shit.
dude, the shock tabs, bro, go
Shocked.
crazy.
Did you try the mango wheat one they just came out with? Holy shit, it's
No, I
pretty
gotta
good.
try that. Speaking
It's
of,
pretty
yeah,
good.
just in case anyone hasn't noticed, we
By the
have
way,
called this
oh sorry.
stream, we have called this stream, comics on the rocks. You know, we always got to talk about alcohol, but this time we're not going to be weebs and talk
This is the
about
most
anime.
inconsistent title for a podcast because we rarely talk about alcohol,
No,
even
it's
if it
not.
is an anime on the rocks. We like rarely. I mean, we'll drink like a beer
No,
on
no,
stream,
no,
but
no, no.
that's about the extent of it.
That's a lie, dude. Because we do talk about alcohol a
Do
lot
we?
on this.
I don't even
Surprisingly,
notice
it's
it. Yeah.
mostly just beer. Like it is just mostly beer. It's not like we're talking about like hard liquors. It's we don't talk about anime. we
Yeah, that's
talk
true.
we
Even
talk
on Anime
about
on the Rocks, we're like, yeah, I read this manga.
yeah.
Not the same.
We just talk about manga. We don't talk about anime.
Yeah.
So to be
Or
changing it up to
like
comics on
anything
the
nerdy.
for at least this podcast, we're
Yeah.
calling it comics on the rocks. But no, what was I gonna say? So we went to a brewery, and the brewery had a
Okay.
book fair,
Oh, nice.
and I bought Throne of Glass, and I've been chugging through that shit. I'm on like chapter 5, 6. I'm I'm going through it. I'm gonna start reading more. You know, we try to do at least 20 minutes every night, but you know, some nights we're watching movies, some nights we're just so tired, but you know, we're changing up, we're reading.
Let me
So I
double
wanted to
check. Thorn of Grass is Sarah J. Maas book, right?
I think so. Sarah Jane Mass. We were talking to the lady that was selling the books, and she was like, "This is like
Oh yeah, yeah.
her first book is not as good as the other two books, but like once you get through it, like the next two books are amazing."
So, uh,
Oh,
you
JJ's got
kind of chose like no, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like very
he doesn't know how to formulate his words, guys. This is called
no.
dead air. This is
I'm
called dead
trying to
air, and
be
I'm gonna try to fill it.
I try to be nice.
No, go
It's
for it.
very
Just say young adult
for
or like
this is only my
childish.
opinion, but no, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's very like amateurish. I'm not a big fan of her
That's what she was
books.
saying. That's what she was saying.
Because I read because my girlfriend really likes those books, and there's nothing wrong with the books. They're just in my yeah. I'm a big fantasy, sci-fi head. Like for all things, like if you want to go into books and stuff, I will go have a 1,000 hour conversation.
Yeah,
Her
yeah.
books, she's kind of like to me, comparison is like a Colleen Hoover of like fantasy books where they're not great quality, but they're popular. And
Uh-huh.
the Court of Thorns and Roses, that's her like her main one. Akatar, it's called, um, or the one that it's her like adult series. Um, I read that first book and I'm like, man, this shit is just kind of soft core porn. And I'm in the process of reading the second one because my girlfriend read Red Rising, so I wanted to read some of her books, and I was struggling through that second book.
Yeah.
But that's just me because I've been reading fantasy for a very long time. So when I'm like reading it, I'm like, oh, so this is gonna okay, all right. Are we gonna world build on this? No, all right, great. Like, but that's just me. So it's just so funny when you said Thorn of Glass. I'm like, oh, her.
Well,
Why is
yeah,
it always her?
I knew that. I
You
knew
could
about
read
the
Joe
book series.
Abercrombie, Brandon Sanderson. Like those are great
We were
start
just
and
like
you
we and
chose.
it's funny that you mentioned that your girlfriend reads it because the person who was selling the book to us, like we when we bought the book,
Mhm.
was only talking to my fiance. It was like
Yeah.
I got my bisexual girlfriend and the straight man buying the books for her.
Listen, I don't want to be the guy, but they are kind of chick books. They are kind of chick books. Listen, I just want to put that. They are
That's
kind of
okay.
chick books.
That's okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you know me. I read Nagatora-san. I read, which just ended,
Like
by the way.
right now, I'm reading uh uh Sun Eater. I've been reading all the books and stuff, and these are like legitimately like
Wait,
great
pull it up again.
great
Pull up the book.
sci-fi. So I have the first one, but it's upstairs. I've been buying the rest of the series because I'm going to devour these like I have been. So these are like the spin-off books right here. Right there. And then this is the fourth and fifth one. I'm on the third one right now. God damn it.
It's okay.
But yeah, like these are like I love Red Rising. Red Rising is fast paced and stuff. So Red Rising is like a roller coaster, and this one's like a a nice tour. You know what I mean? Like a very
Yeah.
like isn't this nice? Let's just sit here, do character building and stuff like that. Whereas Red Rising, which is also very good, I'm not dismissing, but it's like, let's fucking go, stab, violence, let's go, and it's like that's why it's such a good. I gotta tell you, you have to get on Red Rising. You will not be able to put the books down because they don't slow down once during the entire like 300 400 page runtime. They
Hmm.
don't. You like have to keep devouring it. Whereas like these Sun Eater books are really good. The prose are fucking fantastic. But it's like you're reading it for the plot, but you're really reading it for the character growth and stuff like that. Whereas Red Rising, Darrow is a very good protagonist, but like the pacing is like, all right, he's got to get revenge, motherfucker. Like, let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Anyways, that's not what this fucking stream is about. Goddamn. But anyways, I am happy you're reading. You're doing the 20 minutes per night. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
yeah, and thankfully
because
her chapters are short, so like I can go through
yeah.
like 2 or 3 like in those
And
20 minutes.
if you have Spotify, if you have premium, has 15 hours of audiobook you could do. So what I've been doing is taking a book and then when I'm not reading, listening along to the chapters of the audiobook. So say I'm reading like up to chapter 14. I'm like, all right, bookmark chapter 14 on audiobook, see where I left off on audiobook, and then just switch. Like you'll get through books incredibly fast. Like I'm already on book like 25 this year or
Are
something like
you
that because
wait, wait,
I've
wait,
just
wait,
been
wait?
doing that.
Are you reading and listening, or just reading and then
Yes, yes.
listening? Okay,
So
okay.
if I'm like, all right, bookmark this chapter, then at work I'll be like, all right, I left off at 14, and then after I'm done listening to whatever portion, I'm like, all right, 28. I left off at chapter
Oh,
28.
okay.
Let
So
me
yeah,
read
you're
28. So I'm
reading.
reading and
You're
listening
not.
along.
Yeah, you're not. But you're not doing it at the same time. Like you're not got the
No,
book
no,
out
no,
and
no,
you're
no.
listening. Yeah, that's what
No,
I thought you were
sometimes,
talking about.
sometimes
Because I
I
used to
will,
do that.
but
I used to do that in
well,
high school when I was reading like for AP Lang. I was like, I don't actually want to read these books.
mhm.
I can't read them, so
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
just
just looked
listened to
up.
the audiobook while I was reading.
I just looked up like YouTube videos talking about them and be like, oh yeah, I remember this part.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's how I am. But you're right. We're not here to talk about books today. So
yeah.
you know,
We should do a stream about books. It's not going to do shit for us view wise, but we should, so I can
we
just talk
should.
at you, just
Yeah,
recommendation, recommendation, recommendation. Anyways, sorry.
but we're gonna talk about. Uh, First off, we're gonna talk about one of the biggest things that is coming out this week: Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mhm.
Which I know both of us are excited for. We both,
I'm
you know,
I'm seeing it
the
tomorrow with Steph.
I'm seeing it Monday. I'm seeing it Monday because I've got like no time this weekend.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
weekend's my birthday. I'm going to a Mets game.
Oh,
Uh,
nice. Happy
doing.
birthday.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Deadpool real quick. You know, it's JJ. You know, Merc with a mouth. I have a feeling I know how you feel about this character
I think
a
I've
little
said
bit,
it before, but I'll
but
reiterate.
yeah, why
Oh
don't
yeah,
you go
go
ahead
ahead.
and reiterate? Why don't you go ahead and reiterate to the audience why you
Um,
hate this character and wish he was
I,
dead?
I mean, in certain aspects, yes. Okay, so when Deadpool first started out, so let's talk about let's talk a little bit about the origins of Deadpool here. So created by Rob Liefeld, which would go on to be a Image, one of the founders of Image, who would create Young Bloods, which was wildly successful in the '90s. Um, him as an artist, he's not the best, especially when it comes to feet. People keep making fun of his feet and stuff like that. How he draws feet. How in some panels he'll like draw objects to cover like feet, just to be like,
I mean, dude,
so
if
he could get
you're
criticized
bad
for
at
it.
drawing feet,
Um,
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, but I mean, for a comic book artist, for a comic book artist, you have to be great at drawing a lot of things. You got to be great at drawing buildings, backgrounds. You got to be great at you know obviously character autonomy and stuff like that. You have to be able, like, say there's a scene that involves an airplane. What if you've never drawn an airplane before? Like how the fuck do you
I mean,
even
that's kind of
attempt?
dumb. That's kind of dumb, right? You
What?
draw you're like, yeah, you know what? I gotta draw this scene to I gotta work on it. I'm doing a scene right now that talks about an airplane, and then you decide to you
Well,
don't know how to draw
most
a
of the
fucking
time,
airplane.
it's not the artist's book; it's the writer's book. And if the writer says, "Hey, I want a fucking airplane in this scene," then you're like, "Ah, fuck! I guess I got to draw an airplane." So they have to be like a
Yeah.
jack of all trades when it comes to everything art wise. um, but yeah, so people have criticized him over that. He created Deadpool, which there were some. It never went anywhere, but there were some legalities with that where DC was like, "Yo, isn't this Deathstroke?" Where to the point where Wade Wilson is Deadpool's name and Deathstroke's name is oh fuck, what's his real name again? Wade
Isn't
Wilson
it
is
also
Deadpool.
Wade Wilson?
No. It's like hold on, I'll look it up real quick.
So
Deathstroke
for me, I only
real
really know about the character through the movies. Like I don't.
Joseph
I'm
Wilson or Slade Wilson. So
Slade
Wade
Wilson. So it's
Wilson, yeah.
literally like it's just
Mhm.
like it's to make fun of the
But
character.
the distinct quality that Rob used in arguments, or maybe Marvel did, I'm not sure, was that. But Deadpool's character is not similar to Deathstroke because Deadpool is funny. Now, early Deadpool isn't what Deadpool as we know him today. He was more like a cynical funny. He's like, I'm gonna chop this dude, like more like a psychopath kind of like, haha, I love killing, I love braids, I love blah
Yeah.
blah, like that kind of thing, but not like haha random. It was like a psychopath. The best example I can give is read Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. That's like classic Deadpool, um, like just like totally cynical. Like this whole
Yeah.
thing is fucking stupid. Not in a Garth Ennis way, but just in a cynical way. Um, whereas nowadays, forget where exactly Deadpool got popular. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously the movies boosted him up, but even before then, Deadpool was pretty popular. Maybe it was like the Ultimate Alliance games or something like that, where Deadpool was a playable character. Um,
There's also
where
his
he
video
be,
game that came out in like the early
yep,
2010s.
at his
That game
video
was
game.
really popular.
Um, all his humor pretty much boils down to haha, me talk to audience, me say random jokes. I love chimichangas, and then that was like that's been like Deadpool. Now there are some writers that have done something unique with the character and stuff like that, but for the most part, the safest fallback is haha, look at me, I know I'm a comic book character.
Yeah, I
So
was
that's
reading
why
I had a
it,
TikTok come up on my
yeah.
feed that was like Deadpool and Spider-Man talking to each other at a camp,
Mm-hmm,
and Peter Parker was like, "Who do you keep talking to? Like
mm-hmm,
why do you keep saying like and this dear reader or whatever?"
yeah.
It's like and he's just like, "Yeah, so this is the reality." And Peter's like, "I think you're just mentally ill,
You're
man.
just
You need
yeah.
help. You need
Um,
help."
and reading that type of humor throughout, it for me it gets a little like, all right, I'm fucking done with this, you know. But that's just me. There are some people, annoying people. Some people who really like. I knew a guy from high school that loved Deadpool. He's like, Deadpool can literally kill anyone. Like Superman could kill Deadpool. And he's like, no, he literally can't. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, no,
like
Superman can't kill
stop.
him. Superman can't kill him.
But
That's such a
Superman
dumb thing to
doesn't
say.
kill, which is great. um, but like, the annoying Deadpool fans. It's like that where it's just like, oh, look at me, I'm random. I'm like, just because you like a character doesn't give you permission to be an asshole in reality. Just because your favorite character is an asshole doesn't mean you have to be.
True, true.
um, but yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about Deadpool. The movies are great because it's only 2 hours worth of Deadpool. Fantastic. When you're reading Deadpool, playing a Deadpool game, it's like,
It gets
boy,
too much. It gets
it's a lot.
so
Yeah.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and but the thing is, like with the new movie that's coming out, I think what I'm excited about, and what I think a lot of people are excited about, is like it's paying a little bit of an homage to the X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm.
And just honestly, a bunch of comics. I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but I've seen the IMDb page for the movie, and there are a lot of cameos from a lot of different Marvel movie
I
properties.
I saw the final trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was like, why would you not keep this a secret?
Which
Like,
one? Which one? Is it
so
the
worth
one
it.
with that?
So
That's the
we'll
spoiler
say it
for.
right now, but it's X-23 or the Logan
Yeah,
girl character
that's
appears. So
not
I'm
the
like,
only
why
thing.
wouldn't you
That's not
like?
the only thing. There are. I honestly think there are better cameos that are going to come up.
That's
Like I
crazy
agree
to
with
me.
you. I agree with
Yeah.
you. It's stupid that they showed that a little too early. They played their
Hmm.
hand a little too much, and that's like
But
the
there's
fault
even
of
more.
trailers.
Okay.
But there's more. Don't look at the IMDb. I'm telling you right now.
I never do
Don't. Because like what
until
happened
after the
is
movie.
what happened is my fiance saw an IMDb of a character.
Hmm.
She like was on TikTok and it came through like, oh my god, this person's gonna be in it, and then we were talking about it yesterday, and she was just like, do you want to just know? And I'm like, fuck, you know me, I can care less about
Yeah, I
spoilers
know. I
really.
know. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, sure, tell me what it is, and she showed me like she tried to like maybe guess, and I was like,
Hmm.
it's this, and she's like, no, but that person is gonna be in the movie, and I was like, oh shit. So like it's really cool. There's so much shit. You're gonna
If
be
it's
blown away.
Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, I will shit in my fucking pants.
And, dude, it's gonna
Or
be
Ben
crazy.
Affleck Daredevil, I
I'm
would just
just
be like, no fucking way.
I'm letting you know right now, you're gonna be really happy. I think a lot of this is enough. This movie is kind of like I feel like it's gonna be a better version of No Way Home,
Okay. Wow.
because like it's going to be very tongue in cheek with its references. It's gonna make fun of the fact because Daredevil,
Honestly,
Deadpool is a big like fourth wall breaking character.
mhm,
He does that thing, so it's gonna be very obvious when those characters come up and why they come
yeah.
up, and it's
Mhm.
gonna be so funny. It's gonna be good, and then on top of that, like I was saying, this is genuinely a love letter to the Fox universe. I feel
Yeah.
like this is what
No,
it's gonna be.
I'm excited to see it. Unfortunately, all the Dolby seats in the theaters were taken, so we're gonna have to go the
So
standard squeaky ass seats.
I'm gonna show the theater that I'm gonna go see it in. Let me pull it
Okay.
up because this is like a
There's
very
a great
luxury.
one in Stanford in where Markeith lives, friend of the show.
Hmm.
Um, where like even the regular seats are those like Dolby seats that we have in
Yeah.
where we live, and it's just like, why the fuck can't this just be a thing?
So this is the place I'm going to, Cinepolis. I don't know if you've ever been
Oh,
here.
should I be looking at the Discord there?
Yeah. Make sure you hit the Discord up. I've been having this screen up all the entire time, or switching
Oh,
between them. But
I've just been
um,
looking at your beautiful face, man.
oh, thank you, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
or I've also been looking at the iPad.
But so there's this place. It's called Cinepolis, West Hartford. That's where we're going to
Hmm.
watch the movie, and they've got like a whole ass freaking menu
Damn.
with foods and
How much are
drinks.
tickets? Is it like a regular ticket, or
It's
is it
honestly
like a
the
little bit
same price.
pricier?
No, it's the same price as like an AMC, dude. That's why it's like
I mean,
a
that's great that
little
you have
weird.
independent. Because we sometimes go to the Southbury Theater. That one's very good, and that one's like a family-owned theater.
Southbury's
Because
nice.
like,
I like
yeah,
Southbury.
that one's
I
great.
also like the Bethel Theater. That one's one of my favorite theaters. But
Yeah, it only shows like 4 movies, but I love that about it because normally it's just like if the Scorsese comes out over a Disney movie, it's like, oh, we're gonna pick the Scorsese one. I'm like,
yeah,
thank you.
but for Deadpool and Wolverine, there are
Hmm.
summer cocktails.
Oh, that's
So
so cool.
while we're watching the movie, me and my fiance are gonna get these two cocktails.
Yeah.
It's the whiskey slash and then the fourth wall. And then obviously the fourth wall has the aviation gin. Gotta
Hmm.
have that for Ryan Reynolds. But yeah,
Yep,
dude,
yep.
I mean, I'm hyped for this movie way more than I should be because, like I
I am
said,
too.
because I've been reading, which we'll get
I
into
haven't
a
read
little
up
bit.
on anything about the movie at all.
Not the movie, but I've been
Oh,
reading up X-Men stuff.
yeah,
So I've been reading a lot of old time X-Men. Um,
yeah. The Chris Claremont
so
run.
yeah, so for me, this is
What are your thoughts
enjoyable.
on
Dude,
classic X Men?
you're so fucking right. It's so many words.
Yes,
It
and it's
talks
over
way too
explaining
much. It's so
all of the time
much, dude.
because the thought process back then was like, well, every comic is someone's first comic, so every
Yes.
introduction of the book is literally just recapping. Whereas, you know what it is? It's like a Toei animation where it's like you have your intro song and you have 5 minute recap, and then you only get like 5 minutes worth of episode, and then a 5 minute outro. Like there's only like
Yeah.
a little bit of story content in each comic because they're like we have to set up and then we have to all right, here's what happens in the story and then here's where we're going to be next week, and it's like
But
the exact same thing.
yeah, I
Which
mean, I really
yeah,
wanted to get into the X-Men comics because, obviously there's the comic Cosmonaut video that was like
yeah,
get into it, but it was really X-Men 97, and
hmm
then I rewatched X-Men the original, and
hmm
then I started rewatching Days of Future Past, First Class, Logan, and I was like, yeah, let me fucking let me read the comics. You know
hmm
what? Let me check it out. And the Chris Claremont run is good, man. It's good. It's just it's long as fuck.
yeah,
It's like
yes,
it's
it's
so
very
like
very long.
it's a long run. I think it's like 98,
Hmm
like issue 98 to
Yeah.
215. So it's a
So wait,
long, and it's
where
like
did you start?
multiple.
So did you read Giant Size X Men where it introduces
Yes,
Wolverine
yes, I
and
read
stuff like
that.
that? Yeah,
I literally am following Marcus's
Cosmonauts
like
Guide. Yeah, yeah,
guide. Yeah. Cuz I was like, you know what? Like I, I trust it. He clearly like he does this for a living, so I kind of hope I
yeah,
trust him a little bit more. But
yeah.
yeah, I was like reading it, and that's why like when I was reading the Chris Claremont run, because I'm kind of reading two different runs.
hmm
I tried the Captain America run you told me to read, which remind me what that run was.
It's the Mark Wade run. It's I believe it's either Heroes Reborn or Heroes Return. There's a shitty one
Heroes
that's
Return.
called either one of those. Yeah, yeah, Heroes Return.
Heroes Return is the one you wanted me to read.
Yeah.
Heroes Reborn was I was like, this is garbage. I don't want to read
But it
this.
was like the monitor. I'm like, no, that's not the one I was talking about.
Yeah, I was like, it's modern. I don't know why you're making me read this, which is
Yeah,
why
once you
I'm
showed me the
reading.
cover, I was like, no, 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 that's no.
Which is funny because you're like, I'm reading like old X-Men, old comic like style,
hmm
and then I'm also reading the Ultimate series, the new one,
Yeah, the new
the
one.
new one,
Yeah,
specifically the Spider-Man one, because
it's
holy
fantastic. Jonathan
shit,
Hickman
dude.
is one of my favorite writers out. He wrote East of West, which is one of my favorite comic books of all time.
Hmm.
He did uh, a Fantastic Four run. Um,
Yeah,
I had
nice,
to do that one.
nice.
I had to do that one.
I'm gonna kick you
He
off
wrote
collab cam now.
yeah, great. Um, he wrote Secret Wars, which like essentially was a crisis for Marvel, but like a crisis as in like DC crisis is not like a bad crisis. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god, this is such a crisis. Um, and managed to make it good, which was surprising. He's done so much. There's so many good run. Oh, the his Avengers run is fucking awesome. I would look up a reading guide before you start, but it's like it's hard to follow up Bendis because I love Bendis's run on Avengers, and I would still say I like Bendis's Avengers run more than I do Hickman's, but Hickman's is still really fucking good. And there's actually a funny story. I'm just faulty like tangents, but like there's a funny story where it so there's a big event at the very end of Jonathan Hickman's Avengers run where
hmm
um Thanos is a big part of it, and obviously this was coming out during Infinity War. It's like, oh look, Thanos is a big thing. Let's set this up, John. But they let the writers know that Infinity War was coming up. Um, so Jonathan Hickman's like, let me lead up to a big Thanos moment, but not make it like, oh, we're just coming out with this because Infinity War. Let's make it actually like mean something to the story. And and like one of the writers is like, all right, so we're gonna kill the Black Order. The Black Order is like Thanos's henchman in in Infinity War. It's like, all right, we're gonna kill off the Black Order. And then the main chief of Marvel just kind of was like, let's leave those characters alone. And then Hickman goes, is the Black Order going to be in Infinity War? And it's like, let's say the chief is like, I can't say anything. I would just say leave those characters alone.
yeah. I've been reading all of Ultimate, um,
Yeah.
to get.
Oh, the whole new Ultimate line.
Yeah, I read
Wow, you're more caught up than me.
I read
Shit.
Ultimate Invasion, the complete thing, because you need to read that because it's a prequel to the Ultimate,
Yeah.
the other three Ultimate storylines. Um, and I really liked it. I didn't know anything about the maker. I knew nothing of him. I was like, what the fuck is this Reed Richards from this is like a Reed Richards variant?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I kind of got into like a rabbit hole of learning about the
And that's
maker
from
and
the
everything.
original. Yes, that's from the original Ultimate.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
early 2000s
yes,
one. Yeah.
yes. And
They
like
did a lot of crazy shit in that universe.
he pretty much remakes the entire universe into his own universe where every superhero is gone, and the
Yep.
only one who the only one who remembers is Tony Stark, but Tony Stark is like 20. So that's why, like, if you've seen stuff on TikTok about Ultimate Spider-Man and you see like a young, sexy Tony Stark, you're like, what the fuck? It's because he's just a kid. And so I read the first comic for the Ultimates, number 1, and then based off of I've been reading it based off of reading order, or release order. So Ultimate Spider-Man came out next. I read that. I then read Ultimate. Let me show it on screen.
Ultimate Black Panther is fucking awesome. I haven't caught up on my comic books, but it's really cool.
I like Ultimate Black Panther. That one's good. Ultimate Spider-Man is my favorite so far, just because you've been bitching and moaning, which you've been bitching and moaning since day one of us.
And it's exactly what I want.
It's what you want. It's what you want. And
yes.
It's exactly that.
Yes.
Ultimate Black Panther is really good. Too bad on Marvel Ultimate Unlimited. All the comics for this line aren't out yet. So like I have to wait,
because they want you to like
buy it.
They want you to be able to buy it physical.
This is so new that they're not going to be available online for a while. Yeah. I'm not feeling Ultimate X-Men.
Nah, I read the first issue. I was like, eh. It's a really different take, which I appreciate, and that's a brave direction. But
yeah, they're going. What's it called? They're going.
It ain't for
Silver
me.
Samurai, right? What's his name?
Yeah.
Am I right with that? Silver Samurai.
Yeah. Yes. You are correct.
Yeah, they're going that route with it. I'm not a fan of that right now. I mean, we'll see where it goes, but not as much as Black Panther and Ultimate Spider-Man.
Black Panther, the way they do their version of Moon Knight is fucking. It's such a unique version, and I honestly love it.
And dude, Ultimate, the Ultimates, the whole thing, that were like the main storyline. Like this one's good too. I really like it. I love the fact that Doctor Doom is a good guy. I think that is so cool, especially with the fact that, like, you know, me knowing the character just based off of the movies, it's like obviously he's a villain, but seeing him in a more like heroic role is really cool, because even he's like, the maker fucked up. Like, this should not be what, like, I'm an idiot for doing what he told me to do. So it's I'm in love with this series, man. I think it's a really good start to, like, if there's any like, for me at least, if you're trying to dip your toes a little bit into comics, you know, this is a great starting off point, because not only is it a good series, but it also gets you to, you know, get into that mentality of like how comics go, how runs start, because like with the X-Men runs, I can just fucking keep reading. There's hundreds and hundreds of comics, but with this, you know, now I gotta like wait for comics to come out and enjoy that hype.
Now you understand the addiction.
Exactly.
Like, I need the next issue. Like,
exactly. Whereas with like I said with X-Men, like I could keep fucking going. I've got nothing to fucking worry about until I hit the end, which should be years from now, based how fast I'm reading it. Because I think
the thing with comics, which is great, which is like, if you're not enjoying something, you can just jump off it and then jump into a different run.
That's exactly it. That's exactly
most of the
Captain
time.
America run.
Our new run will be like, okay, so here's what happened in the original run. Either we're gonna keep continuing off that, or it's gonna be okay. Fuck all that shit. We're gonna do something else.
What are some comics? So those are the comics I've been reading. You know, this is literally baby's first steps. I'm going to eventually become like I have with manga, where it's all I look at. I'm
excited because like this is something I've
wanted.
Not to toot my own horn, but like something I've known more than you, as in like the actual not comic book movies, but like
Yeah.
comic books where it comes to like Marvel, DC, and like the stupid fucking
I really want to get
background
into
and shit like
Superman.
that.
I really want to get into Superman because I've been reading
Oh,
the.
I'm so happy you said that.
I've been reading. I've been watching My Adventures with Superman.
Oh, it's
So
so good.
I'm
That
like
show is
this is
so
good
good.
Superman. This is good
Oh,
soup. This is good
that show
Superman.
is incredible. You know, they actually they were considering Jack Quaid auditioned for the role. He's Huey from The Boys.
Yeah.
Um,
He voices.
for Superman, and they were like, we're gonna pass. I mean, I don't blame him because he could. I think he could pull off a Clark Kent, but maybe not so much as Superman. I think the person they got now is pretty good, David.
Do you
David
know him in other
something.
stuff? Do you know him in other
Uh,
stuff? Is that why you say you will trust it, or is it just the way he looks?
for who? Jack White?
The guy who's
No, I
actually
he just
playing
has to
him.
look, and he was in this Netflix show. It wasn't good, but he was good in it called Hollywood.
Okay.
Um, and he has like that chipper kind of wholesome American attitude, which I think
Yeah.
um, Superman should, or traditional
I
American
mean, dude,
values, I
that's
should
how I
say.
feel watching the show, man. It's so cool. And kind of a
Mhm.
little bit of a twist on it too. The whole fact that like
Yeah.
Superman was supposed to be a Goku, literally. He
Yes.
was
Yeah.
supposed to take over
Yeah.
the planet and then it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay. What the that's not how it usually that's not how it originally
Yeah.
was." Which I
It's a
liked,
unique
which
spin.
I liked, which I really liked. But
Like I.
before I switch
Yeah.
over to you, I forgot to
Mhm.
mention on Marvel Unlimited when you're reading
Mhm.
the Ultimate series,
Yeah.
they treat it like a web comic. So rather than like it flipping pages, you just scroll down and the whole comic is there.
Oh, really? Huh. I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
it is
I have
so
the app.
cool.
I just haven't been reading
It is
comics
so
lately.
cool. But
Um,
well, motherfucker, we're supposed to be talking about comics. Is there at least one that you've been reading recently?
no, I mean, yeah, obviously, but like, as far as like I used to like when I worked at a previous job, it was near a comic book store, and I would just like go into that store all the fucking
Is
time.
there
But
nothing in Danbury for a comic book store?
Newtown, there is. Um, but I just haven't had the energy to pick up physically, which is sad because I
Also,
really wanted the
you've got a
first issue.
home to worry about.
Also, that. Um,
I know this is like probably sacrilegious, but why haven't you gone to like Newberry Comics in the mall?
I fucking hate Newberry
I
Comics.
figured. I
It's
figured.
it's one of those where it's like, yeah, comics, and it's like it's basically about manga, which I don't blame them because manga is like an anime is fucking huge, but it's a wonderful website. Oh wait, oh there it goes. Um, Cave Comics, that was like my first comic store I ever hit. I go there every once in a while. It's great. Um,
What was the one in Newtown? Is this the one you're talking about, or somewhere
yeah,
else?
yes, yep, nope, that's the one. The previous one was Heroes and Cards. Um, that was in something with the which we call it. Where was
Got it right
that? It
here.
was right near New Canaan.
Yep, I got it. I got it. I'm gonna pull it
Yeah,
up right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, that's the one I frequented because it was just so close. But yeah, uh, I forgot what was the question again. I totally blanked out.
Well, what have you been reading, or what comics do you want to talk
Oh,
about?
so I read the first issue of the rebooted series of, or not reboot, but like a soft core reboot of TMNT or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the IDW series, because Jason Aaron is the writer on it now, and he's like changing up. It's basically starting a brand new run of Ninja Turtles, and like the first issue has like sold. Like I can't find a physical copy fucking anywhere
This one?
besides like online scalpers that like yeah, which like charge an ass ton for like the first issue because if you miss out on it, you miss out on it.
Real quick, this is the one I have up right here, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the IDW series is great. It's been going on since 2010. Tom Waltz and I forget if it's. I think
Here, it's
it's no,
everybody.
it's Kevin Eastman. Yeah.
Here's
Kevin
everybody.
Eastman. Oh, okay, yeah. Kevin Eastman, which was one of the co-creators of the Ninja Turtles, and Tom Waltz creating this rebooted Ninja Turtles universe since like 2010, 2011, I think. And that's like one of my favorite comic book runs of all time. And my favorite Ninja Turtles thing ever, movie, TV show, whatever. My
See, the
favorite
TV
Ninja
show's
Turtles
coming out.
media is that.
The TV show continuing
Yeah, the new one.
the movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't realize
Um,
that. What's her name is in it? That voice is April O'Neil.
from The Bear.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
funny because they got a bunch of kids to voice the turtles, but then they got an
Hmm.
adult to voice the human
Yeah.
child. But
Well, I
whatever.
don't know. I mean, she looks like no, she's in high school in that movie. That's right. Never mind. I was gonna say like early 20s, but I forgot she was in high school in that movie. But anyways, regardless, like that, I love that run. So this Jason Aaron run is like doing its own thing now. Still a continuation, but kind of like a soft reboot. So I read the first issue of that, really excellent, really good. I had to buy it digital. I want to blow my brains out, but I had to buy it digital because I really wanted it physical. But I'm thinking I might just collect the trade paperbacks for those and just wait until a full
Real quick,
story
this one,
arc comes out.
this
Yes,
story,
yes,
this
and
comic.
it's been making a lot of money, which is great to see in like the comic book industry, like actual comic books. Like it's so cool that it's basically like the pre-orders went out the fucking window. There's so many variant copies. There's going to be like a million second printings, third printings, fourth printings. Like even the new Ultimate Spider-Man that came out had like fifth, sixth printings because it just went so fucking crazy.
Because it's good.
So it's so good that people are excited about it. And like honestly, if you were like, I want to get into like the more comic book side of IDW or the comic book side of like TMNT. The originals are unique. It's just a cool, different way of being like, wow, this is where the turtles came from. But the IDW edition is like the definitive Ninja Turtles thing. Like
Mhm.
it's incredible. I would recommend it to. It's like one of the only like 100% recommends I would go to because it's like start at issue one, keep going. Like it's just that simple. There's obviously side stuff. There's actually like collections, like the hardcover collections. Also collect like the side things. So if you want the whole experience, if you collect those, then it's like you're getting literally everything. There's actually a source book coming out that I can't wait to buy, just like going over like the lore and stuff like that,
Mhm.
because it's been going on for like more than a decade at this point, the rebooted series. But yeah, that one is really good. Other than that, I've kind of fallen off a little bit. I go through this every once in a while with comics where it's like, all right, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break.
Happens with
So
me in Destiny. I get it. I get it.
yeah,
Don't you
like
worry. Don't you
I need
worry.
to take a little break. But for this stream, I thought I would say my personal favorite runs and stuff.
Sure.
Um, but before I get into my favorite runs, let's talk about Watchmen and not the comic book itself, but what I think DC is doing incredibly fucking smart for their graphic novels and stuff like that. And so let me pull out my edition of Watchmen, the very first edition. Hold on, let me pull up so I can see if I'm actually showing it on. Yeah. So this is my edition that I bought in like
Hold it on the
2014.
other side. The
I
other side.
know, it's fucking like. But this is my. I love this because like the newer versions have Watchmen on the side. I love this because it's just that, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's Watchmen. Um, so this goes for $20, right? $20
Okay.
for this. Now you could get 2 volumes of Demon Slayer for that same price. So what does DC say? How do we like win against manga, so to speak? How do we get our sales up for manga? Because buying a graphic novel is expensive. It's either this price or like 11, $15, something like that, because they use better paper and there's coloring, whereas like manga is very cheaply made paper. That's how they can a volume could even go for $7.99. A traditional one is like $7.99. Um like how do you compete against that?
Yeah.
What DC is answering with is it's called like compact comics. This is the same exact story, just smaller, and it's only $10. This you could get the entirety of Watchmen in this little, and the paper quality isn't even that bad. The entire thing of Watchmen for $10, and they've been doing other classic storylines. So they have like All Star Superman. They got the entirety of the Court of Owls law, or sorry, Court of Owls run. Batman Court of Owls. all into a $10 thing.
What
So
is it? What is it called?
it is affordable. Compact Comics. Um, you can look up there. They have a whole bunch of them now
Yeah.
on Amazon and stuff. $10 for a whole complete run. Like that's such a smart way to be like, because we even had a video like that I reposted to this channel, but also on my on the previous channel or on my personal channel, where we were like, why is manga killing comic books? And it's because, well, let's look at the graphic novels. They're definitely cheaper than your standard Marvel DC graphic novel. So I believe this is like a fantastic way. We'll see once the sale figures come out, like in half a year, how well this experiment paid off. But I think this is just a good direction to go and going forward. I don't think Marvel has an alternative, or I haven't heard of one.
They don't need it.
They don't really need it, but which not listen. I'm DC first more than a Marvel guy. I mean, I love Marvel obviously, but like as far as it comes to like, oh, who has the better stories, DC and Marvel? It's a total fucking wash. Like DC has some of the best fucking runs of all time, and so does Marvel. But Marvel gets stuck up with the whole editorial side of things, which I've talked ad nauseum about with Spider-Man. They're very strict with how their characters are approached, whereas DC's like, Grant Morrison, do you want to do some weird fucking shit with the X-Men? Okay, go for it. Like, they allow their creatives more freedom, I would say. Marvel has traditionally had the best art, but now in the modern age, it's pretty much on equal grounds. But yeah, I just prefer DC more. And I think this is a great way. Now, I will say the DC comic app is dog water. Dog shit, dog water. I canceled it. I just have Marvel Unlimited now. It's not even fucking worth it, honestly. It like the user interface
Which honestly,
really bad.
That's where it's at. Like, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
because like with you and me, we both started using Shonen Jump. That's how we've been reading our manga, and then now we're both using Marvel Unlimited.
And again,
to read our
still
comics.
cheaper. That motherfucker is $2.99, $3 a month.
Dude, Shonen Jump, dude, is crazy, bro.
That's fucking. And
that shit's so
now
goofy.
there's a 100 chapter limit, but like for an average adult, that's fine because I'm not reading 100 chapters in a fucking day.
Wait, what? There's a 100 chapter limit in Shonen Jump? I didn't even know
you
that.
didn't even know that? Yeah.
I've read.
I've never reached it. Markeith has because he was like trying. I think he was trying to catch up.
Did he tell you?
Man or something?
Did he tell you?
He was like, "Fuck!" And he's like, "I gotta go on this bootleg website." Fuck.
I feel like it's crazy because I don't think I ever. I mean, I must. I feel like it's impossible because I've read.
If you go into the settings, it'll say like how many chapters you have left.
That's crazy.
In a day. But again, it gets refreshed at midnight. So
I didn't even know that because like I'm reading all through all One Piece in like the span of 3 months.
Yeah.
I should have reached that limit, but I never did. So that's crazy. I didn't even know that. But with Marvel Unlimited too, like I can just read old comic book lines. So like DC's kind of dropping the ball there, bro. It's like they gotta step it up.
What they did is bullshit because so Marvel, you pay I think what is it, $60 a year, something like that. They have different plans.
It's
like $60 or $70, I think.
$10 a month.
$10 a month, but yearly. I have the yearly one. I think it's like 60 or 70. I don't know. But for the yearly for DC, you pay it's something similar price, or you could pay for the Plus edition, which will get you up to date, which is $100. That's fucking bullshit. Like $100 for pretty much the same exact content, but like it's like over a paywall.
You get
that's
day
fucking
one?
Stupid. Yeah.
So like you
not
get day one
comics? Not even day one. Not even day one. Like
so then what's so special about the $100 edition?
Exactly.
Like why would I do that?
You're either caught up you're either 6 months behind with the regular plan or you're 3 months behind with the premium plan. Like it's when they did that I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like just follow Marvel's model, you know? Like the fuck are you doing? You want people to read your comics, correct? I'm assuming so. And interfaces. See, Marvel's is great because you can actually organize what runs you want to do, and you can do that in DC too. But like Marvel has this really cool thing called reading guides, right?
Yes, they have that.
Which is
Yeah.
excellent. And DC's version of that, they have that, but it's more like for characters. So it's like get to know Green Lantern, and it just shows Green Lantern stuff. Whereas like Marvel will be like, all right, here's the entirety of the Civil War, including tie-ins and everything, into one coherent. Start here and go down. Like I read all of X-Men Apocalypse. What's Age of Apocalypse? Age of Apocalypse. I read all. It's like, all right, start here chronologically. This is how it goes. Whereas like uh, DC, it's like, all right, here's issue of Jeff Johns' run, and here's issue 1 of this. Here's issue 1 of that. Whereas like the Marvel one is just so it's such a better user experience. Now that comicsology is fucking dead.
And like honestly,
it's fucking water.
Like, it's just like you gotta be more streamlined for people if you want them to get to read your stuff.
Yes, you have to make it dumb simple.
It's dumb simple. Why do you think I'm reading it? Dumb simple. I wouldn't read it if it wasn't
dumbass.
Dumb. It wasn't easy.
Dumbass over here.
But JJ, what are some of the comic book lines you want to talk about?
So I pulled out some. So actually, I lied. I am reading a recent run, but in the graphic novel format. So Image just acquired the license from IDW for G.I. Joe and Transformers. So I've been collecting them in trade paperback. So it's like a crossover universe where G.I. Joe and Transformers cross over. That sounds silly at first, but it's really, really good, actually. And Joshua Williams is kind of heading it along with Robert Kirkman, Walking Dead fame. Joshua Williams, DC fame. He's been writing the current run of a shit ton of DC, but specifically Superman, Green Arrow, stuff like that. These are absolutely fantastic. Duke and Cobra Kai. Right now they have Destructo.
Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander. Not Kai.
Someone's been watching that on Netflix.
I have not actually. I'm not a big fan.
Oh shit! No, it's garbage, dude. It is
pretty bad. They have Transformers, which has like insane art, like where like there's a panel, I think where like I forget what the movie's called, where like what's it called? Where pile drive, right? Where you grab someone and then you just flip them behind you. Like the Optimus does that to Starscream. It's just like it's like this is the best fucking thing I've ever.
Does he write a 3-headed dragon though? Does he write a 3-headed dragon?
We haven't gotten there yet, but
the Dark Knight or whatever the fuck it's called.
It's just starting out. I'm sure they'll start the Beast Wars shit and all that. But like it just started last year, and then you have Robert Kirkman's Void Rivals, which is like the in between side of things. These are absolute great run. It's called the Energon Universe. Yes, the Energon Universe. Follow reading guide online. It's really fucking good. Like, so basically, Duke is goes rogue, and the reason why he goes rogue is because he's like, I saw a fucking jet turning to a robot. You can't tell me I did it. And the U.S. government is like, shut the fuck up, Duke, and do what we tell you to.
The government lying? Yeah. That's crazy.
Right. It's like an espionage type of thing. And like where like Duke isn't even part of the Joes. He's just like he's gone rogue and stuff like that, which the usual G.I. Joe formula is like, Duke is the American hero, whereas this one he goes rogue, and it's because he's like, motherfucker, you can't tell me I didn't see that. I saw that. And Cobra Commander has like Megatron locked up in this vicinity, and he's like taking like the Energon out of Megatron and stuff. It's like the way they tie these like two things that seem like they wouldn't mix together so well is fucking incredible. It's so good.
They're both Hasbro properties, so it makes sense.
Yes, yeah. But way more mature. Don't hand this shit to kids.
Okay. What else? What else have you been reading?
Yeah.
Or have read that you want to talk about.
Right. That's what I have been. I have a list here. Hold on. I won't go over everything because obviously we don't want to be here for like fucking
hours.
28 hours. Two of my favorite. But I'll start with this one first. I fucking love Hellboy. Now this is only one example of what I have. I have the omnibus editions, but I didn't want to bust them out because they're heavy.
Yeah,
But
no, I believe that.
Hellboy is one of my favorite comic books of all time. I've always been a fan of like the like X Files and the paranormal, and
Yeah.
like the Hellboy comics are very different from the movies. And when you say that out loud, it's like that will drive anyone away. But like it's such a different experience, and it's so good. Like
Is it like the comics are more like True
the comics are
Detective
more
and
action based. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly what you're saying.
the comics are more True
But
Detective, the movies are more action based.
yes, exactly. And like the whole world knows that paranormal shit is going on. It's not the movies where it's like we need to hide the fucking
Yeah.
like the whole world knows pretty much. They just coexist with it, and the PBRD is just like trying to make sure the shit doesn't go off the rails. And Hellboy's a lot more subtle. And he's a lot more relaxed. And oh my god, like I fucking adore um Hellboy. Uh yeah, it's one of my favorites of all time. And then the other one is Invincible.
We have a whole ass podcast on that, I think. We talked about Invincible for a little bit on a podcast.
We
But why
did, we
don't you
did.
why don't you go a little bit
The
more into
show
it?
is good, but this is like the show adapts this very well for like criticizing like or not criticizing, but like touching upon like modern comic book stuff, like media and stuff like that. This one touches specifically on like actual comic books and like there's a joke that they kind of replicated in the new season, but in in the comic there's like so you're telling me or Mark goes up to this comic book writer. He's like, "Yeah, I like the art, but sometimes I hate it when they reuse panels." And then it shows like awkward silence by showing the same panel 3 times, and it's like, yeah,
Like some meta jokes.
yeah,
Some meta
it's meta
jokes.
for comic books, whereas like
Yeah.
the show is also meta for comic books, but more so for a general audience kind of thing.
Yeah.
It goes dark, but it never goes the boys cynical. You
Yeah.
know, it's just like, hey, if what happens if a teacher is strapped with a bomb? You know, Superman would find a way to get the bomb off, and or Mark is just like, throw. Like,
Yeah. It's just
you
like
know,
it's not as like cynic, yeah, like you said, like it's not as cynical where it's like Homelander would kill everybody on the plane.
yeah,
It's like I'm a teenager, what am I doing?
right.
Why am I
And
doing
where
this?
these characters do kill, but like sometimes unintentionally at all.
Yeah.
Um, but like they hold by the code, but it's like, listen, if I have to, like, it's what it is, and not in like a if Batman were to kill a Joker scenario where it's like, oh my god, I
If
killed
Batman would
Joker.
be a
Now
sex
I have to
pervert.
kill every villain. I
Yeah.
hate that fucking kill the Joker, kill him, kill the Joker.
No, I
if there's
can't kill
one
the Joker. It's
justifiable
against
kill
my morals.
in the entire
JJ, just like how it took so many years for
Batman,
them
yeah,
to make
yeah.
a Spider-Man comic that you
Mhm.
wanted, it's going to be even
Yeah,
longer for them to make a
yeah.
comic book where they can
Also, they
convince you canonically that Batman should kill the
they
Joker.
won't kill the Joker because the Joker makes a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. I
If
mean
you
they
can't tell by
do.
the
They
Joker
do
2
kill the
coming out.
Joker. I'm so hyped for that movie. I was telling my
Yeah, yeah, I am
fiance
too.
about it and I was like, do you know it's a musical with Lady Gaga?" And
Mhm.
she's like, "I don't give a shit."
I
she's never
legitimately
seen
don't
the
care.
she's never seen the first one, and she asked me like, what do I think of the first one? And I was just like, first one's really good, the cinematography and like all. She's like, shut the fuck up, you nerd, dude. Tell
Yeah,
me if
yeah.
it's good or not. And I was like, it's good.
My parents hated it,
It's-
which means like when my parents hate something, I know I'm gonna love it. Absolutely love
Dude, yeah, like you told me with Iron Claw, bro. That
it.
shit's so
Yes,
goofy with them. That shit's so
they're like
goofy.
it's sad. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
Old
okay.
Yella's sad. A few good, or not a few good men. Lenny, Lenny, Great Depression, of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
Of Mice and Men is sad.
Yeah.
You
But
still think
like,
that's a good movie?
but this one is really
But there was
sad.
no post-credit scene where Nick Fury shows up and recruits
Yeah,
Zac Efron's
where
character to the Avengers.
no, the best post credit scene would be if all of them came back to life and they live as a happy family. And for
That's fucking
no,
sad.
that's a lie. That's a lie. The best post credit scene would be is the other brother they don't mention in the movie shows up.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
actually
I was
alive the
alive
whole
the entire
time.
time.
Yeah. What's
Oh
another
shit.
comic book? What's another comic book series you want to talk about?
My favorite superhero of all time favorite run of all time is Jeff Johns's Green Lantern run.
Green
This
Lantern's
shit
your favorite superhero?
of all time. Hal
Oh,
Jordan
that's
is my
crazy.
favorite. Um, and I know that sounds crazy because that movie has done irreparable damage to the Green
Thanks,
Lantern brand.
Ryan.
But when I, it's not his fault.
It is. It's his fault.
No.
No, no, no,
Ryan,
no, 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 no.
Ryan was just the actor.
Ryan Reynolds has been
Ryan
making
did
up that movie since
what
he made it. He's
I
been
know.
trying to make up for it.
Ryan Reynolds did what he was supposed to. He actually plays a pretty good Hal. The only problem is it's shitty CGI, shitty writing, boring as fuck. Like everything around Ryan Reynolds is the fault. Like that suit design is why the fuck would you? Um, but when I tell you this is literally Warner Brothers slash DC's Star Wars, it literally is. Like the whole concept of like the different color lantern, like the emotional spectrum and stuff like that, is awesome. That's where you get like Atrocitus, the Red Lantern, where like um, Green Lanterns, their rings are powered by willpower, so you have to be brave and stuff like that. And Red Lanterns are rage, so you have to be like the most rageful motherfucker in order to power your ring. And like literally, like the Blackest Night is insane, where it's an in continuity version of like, hey, what if we take all our dead characters and turn them into zombies? Like in
Wow, so
continuity,
cool.
which is cool. Whereas Marvel Zombies fucking sucks. It's just like,
Dude,
hey,
yeah.
do you hate superheroes? Fucking, you want to see Spider-Man eat Aunt May and Mary Jane and then cry about it all the time? It's like, oh god, it's a like Marvel Zombies just wallows in its fucking misery, and I'm just like, dude, I like these characters. Why am I even doing this? Whereas like the Blackest Night managed to take a lot of dead characters and then bring them back to life, and then once they do, they're like, hey, you killed me. Do people know about that? Like it's so good. Green
Yeah.
Lantern's such an underrated character. I'm excited for the new series. They're making a
The buddy
True
cop.
Detective mixed with Green Lantern, which is nice because a lot of the best stories I say are mostly involving Hal. But Jon Stewart also has really good
I
stuff.
was gonna
Like
say this one's gonna be both of them, right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
TV show's supposed to be
Which
both
I
of
was
them.
worried they were just gonna give like in that animated movie they were just gonna give like Jon Stewart Hal's stuff, which I feel like is incredibly lazy. Like a good example of that is like Miles Morales, because Miles Morales is his own character, whereas like in that animated like recent
Dude, you bring up Miles
Green Lantern
Morales to
thing,
go back
yeah.
on the Ultimate Run. They try to like
Mm-hmm.
bring up like Miles Morales and the Maker, the only two
Yeah.
characters that remember the old universe,
Yeah, he's
and
like,
then
"Do you want to go back?" And he's like, "Nah."
and they drop Miles immediately. They don't bring
Mm-hmm.
him back up ever again, but he's like the face of that entire run. It is so
Yeah.
goofy.
Which I'm done with Green Lantern. Green Lantern's great. Definitely read it if you're into like cosmic shit. Best comic book cosmic shit ever is Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. Um, but one of my favorites that got me into comic books is Brian Michael Bendis' 2000 run of Spider-Man,
Do you have that
Ultimate
on you or
Spider-Man.
no?
I don't have it. Well, actually, I do. I have, but I don't want to bust it out. I have
No,
all the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
single issues of that, but it's like
What's the name of
way
the
in the
guy?
back of the closet. Brian Michael Bendis. He's a very prolific and good comic book writer up until he tries to write for Superman. Then it all falls the fuck apart. He does a Daredevil run, which is incredible. He did an Avengers run, awesome, which I had mentioned before. But his what do they call it? Like an ultimate piece of work, like the greatest piece of work someone has ever made.
So like these comics.
Oh, sorry. Wait, let me get on Discord.
Oh, I don't think I'm streaming it. Let me make
Oh, you're
sure I'm
not.
streaming it to
You're not streaming.
you. Go live.
Yet again.
Let me know if you see it.
All I see is your profile pic. Oh, but I could. Yeah, I could see it through the iPad here. Yeah, that's his run. So fucking good. Obviously, it's dated because basically what they did was like, all right, listen, Marvel's continuity like starts where Marvel started and doesn't end. Like there hasn't been like a hardcore reset. So like the Clone Saga didn't happen in the 90s. It happened, I don't know, like 2 years ago in modern continuity. They do like that shit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's going to confuse readers. So what they did with the Ultimate Initiative was like, let's do a separate universe. They're never going to cross over. Lies. Bold fucking lies. But the idea was they're never going to cross over, and let's start Spider-Man in the modern day. Which the modern day back then was the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So it just follows the path of Peter Parker and his journey, and like it's more a slice of life than it is like an action comic. Like the first 6 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man, he doesn't get his costume. It's all the drama surrounding, whereas the first issue of Spider-Man, it's like, oh my god, my Uncle Ben died. Let me turn into Spider-Man. All right, now I'm Spider-Man, kids. Like, it's not that. It takes 6 issues, and Aunt May is such a good fucking character in that run. It's like reading a manga run. It's the closest thing to like a manga run, because it's like one continuous storyline, Whereas like, different creators get mixed in normal continuity and stuff. This one is like, this is Brian Michael Bendis' till the very end. And Brian Michael Bendis was inspired by Donald Glover, because they were going to make The Amazing Spider-Man into a movie. And people were like, hey, why doesn't Donald Glover become Spider-Man? He seems like a good one. And internet trolls was like, Peter Parker is not black. He's not fucking black.
Yeah, they made it really racist and weird.
So Brian which, online nerds do. Like the acolytes, just look at that shit. But Brian Michael Bendis is like, what if there was a successor? So he created Miles Morales. And it's such a good legacy character, because Miles is his own character. Brian makes him a little boring. Like, comic book Miles isn't movie Miles. He's still a good character, and his recent run is really good. But it does a brave and bold thing where, like, Peter Parker dies at the end of Ultimate Spider-Man. And then they have issues continuing on the story, and it's about the side characters and dealing with that grief. And then eventually Miles gets introduced to become the new universe of Spider-Man. But, like, it has a beginning and an end, which is very rare for comic books,
Yeah.
And Peter was dead for a while in that universe, and they fucking brought him back and gave him a happy ending, which I was like, I mean, the fan side of me is good, but like the critical side of my brain is like, why didn't you just leave him fucking dead?
Yeah,
you could do anything in this universe.
I get that, but
dope,
man.
That's still, that death is fucking awesome. Those are all the comic book runs I wanted to mention, at least because
that's great. Those are,
and
I like how like we end off on your first comic book series that got you into comics, which is awesome. But guys, thank you all for watching today's stream. I mean, I've got nothing else to say. We're gonna probably talk about Deadpool next week. So check that out. I should have a video coming out before then. I already have. It's being edited right now. I'm supposed to have it done in the middle of the month, but it's okay. I will.
And stuff.
I will have it done for next week, so tune in for that.
And for my next video,
it's about Xbox. It's about Xbox.
Ooh, very nice. For my video, can I get a drum roll? I have nothing. I have literally nothing.
Let's go. No worries. So check that out. Hopefully, the format of the stream is probably going to be like this from now on. As you could see throughout the stream, I was experimenting a little with the changing of our cameras, trying to make it a little more dynamic.
We did this once for the Dragon Ball thing, and my feed was like so sketchy, but I've been looking at it constantly, and like it's fine now. So I don't know what went wrong that last time we did it, but like
could have been my house, could have been your house.
Smooth.
So but hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. We like talk about comics. If you like it, let us know. We'll talk about more. Obviously we will, because fuck the audience, who cares what they think. And next week